You're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. How we frickin' doing? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited. We are having an incredible stream today. I am very excited to bring back another episode of the PSP podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute pleasure. You said not the hey hi betting ads. Oh no, not the betting ads. Also, V Live, thank you so much for the follow. Callie Pierre, thank you so much for the follow. In stock with the tier 1. You know what's something that's really funny today, chat? Is we have a really cool guest today on the PSP podcast. And you guys might know her. If you don't, she's gonna be listed like below. She's gonna be in the title of the stream. If you're on OWN, she's already typed in chat. So make sure you guys are giving her a follow if you haven't already. But it's really, really awesome to be here. It's awesome to be back from DreamHack. This is my first one right here. Marty with the follow, covering up my face. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome on in. We are going to be having a really, really awesome discussion today. And for those of you guys who have never been here, the PSP podcast is for inspiring, aspiring creators. And if you have never been a part of one of these episodes, we talk about a lot of really cool things. Let me know if there's any weirdness in audio, chat. Let me know if there's any discrepancies on anything, but I'm very excited to bring the podcast back. So, honestly, without any further ado, what do you say we get started? You guys ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive173, where PSP stands for Perk Spreads Positivity, where we educate.
The 3 E's, right? You can educate, you can entertain, you can be empathetic.
Have you encountered any gender-related obstacles or biases while building your career in content creation?
I would say the cyber stalking.
By bringing in the best of the best. You still do that, so let's not discount that. So what really made you go into streaming? What was that decision? What was that move that made you make, as I'm very sorry, I know I'm teasing you, but it's literally, it's one of those things that we can do. Post everywhere, post often, and do it your own way. And have fun. And have fun and be yourself.
Fine. Have fun, honestly. Like that, I love that so much because it's so true. Like, if you like the content you're making, like if you're watching it and you like it, you're not the only person.
From fitness to establish a new habit or a routine, what is your message to them?
Start with less than you think you need.
Too fitting. Would love to get some tips and tricks of the trade on like how you kind of do things in the cosplay field.
Yeah, I'd love to go into that, especially because like I've done a little bit of everything, right? So I've made some costumes, I've bought some costumes, I have my friends' old costumes, I've commissioned costumes, I like craft all kinds of things, but also I wear things. Like there's a whole smorgasbord if I do a little bit of everything when it comes to cosplay.
To VTubing and animation. This is something that I may want to get into. How should they start?
Ooh, I think everyone should start on YouTube. I think YouTube is going to be your best place for launching
metrics that creators should be paying attention to. In my
yeah, I think and like specifically with like VTubing, I think it's I think all of that is like kind of like the difficulty level is like bumped up to like expert.
And our goal at the PSP podcast is to educate and inspire aspiring creators. And we are super excited for this week's episode, and we can't wait to see you there. So let's have a freaking party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into another episode of the PSP podcast, where Perk Spreads Positivity. And I'm your host, Percussive173. And if you didn't already know, this is the place where we laugh, we vibe, we highlight creators who've been putting in all of the work behind the scenes. And today we have a super solid guest. Her name is Professor Stock. She's a creator who's been in the content space with consistency, personality, and understanding, and she knows what it takes to grow online. Whether it's just showing up, whether it's being authentic, whether it's just navigating the ups and downs. She's got a lot of perspective, and I'm really excited to bring her on today and talk about the reality of content. And we're going to get into the real side of content creation. And I hope you guys are super ready for it. Professor Stock, welcome on in. How we doing?
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I'm stoked. I'm stoked.
I'm really, really, really happy to have you on. So let's talk a little bit about yourself. Like, what got you into content? What about Professor Stock? Let's let people who may not know who you are know a little bit about who you are.
Ooh. Okay, so I started in 2019. So basically like a little bit after COVID, and I was in massage school for about a year and a half at that point, and I started and then one of my friends there, she was already a streamer, and this was all like during mixer times and stuff like that. And then we were just talking about gaming, all that kind of stuff, and then she was like, I think you'd like it. Like, I think you'd be into it. You should check out like Mixer. You should check out the things. And so I did. And then I started streaming from there. And I think I started with like, I don't want to say like Fable 3. I think that might have been one of like the first games I started actually like gaming on there. And then I don't know, I just got into it and it took off. And I've been streaming on and off ever since. So yeah.
So at what point did streaming stop being just fun and it like started to kind of feel a little bit like work? What was that like jumping point for you that really got you into the world of content here?
Ooh.
I know
I feel
it's a trick
like
question sometimes, because sometimes like streaming doesn't ever feel like work.
yeah. It's everything outside of streaming almost that makes it feel like work, right? Like, not that like the stream itself feels a lot less like work. It's like everything working up to it, like just getting everything set up and all of that, and then like obviously all of the engagement and stuff like that. Anyway, blah 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 blah. That's not what you're asking, but oh my God, when did it start getting into work for me? I want to say that honestly, once I started making like honestly, once I started realizing, it was probably not even a month in, I started realizing I could actually like make some money with this. And I really was focused on doing like massage school and all that kind of stuff. But then I got pregnant, and then, everything kind of turned around. Even doing massage school was like just not even a chance for me. I have like really rough pregnancies, and I started like trying to stream when I could, but I guess it was mostly after like I was still trying to stream and like do the things and like try to make a side income, but I think I always in the back of my head when I do any kind of things or projects, when I get really into it, I've always been like, how can I make money off this? Like, in the sense of like I always am kind of like, I think my desire has always been to like make money off of something I love. And so finding out that I could potentially do it with gaming, I think honestly from day one of making anything on it, I was in that mindset. I wasn't necessarily putting in as much work as I have the last few years. I would say like once I had my separation, and once I wasn't pregnant anymore and my kiddo was like several months old maybe, that's when I started really trying to dig into it. And that's when things started like, getting bigger and bigger, I would say. And yeah, I don't know though. I think I always hoped it would be a job. You know what I mean? I think I kind of always wanted that. So I can't even say that there was a specific moment.
Well, you know what they say, like the best jobs are the ones that don't ever feel like work, right?
Yeah,
And,
true.
and that's
True, true,
that's
true.
like with me with content creation. I started 5 years ago. I actually, well, technically, I started 10 years ago as a viewer, but I actually think that the world of content starts when you're a viewer versus starting like when you actually first put like your first videos out there, and then like in order to really get into the whole content scene, like people don't really realize like all the work that happens behind the scenes. Like I started as a viewer, and I started as a viewer watching The Only Shady and Bad Bear Gamer and C-Preds and Steffi Evans, and because I was a Call of Duty nerd, right?
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah, so you're
made
in that
my
space.
I
Yeah.
mean, I still do COD content, but like honestly, like I've
Mhm.
kind of been gearing and shifting more to podcasting because I feel like I'm more of a host
Mm.
on that front. Like I feel like I just have that like energy, that persona.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do really like being able just to talk to people and like learn a little bit about their mentalities. So I think that content starts when you're a viewer. And I think it starts because you want to see if this is something an avenue that you even want to go down. And after you do
Mhm.
go down that hole and you start posting your first video, it becomes like addicting. It becomes fun because you get people who are
That's
actually
true. That's
genuinely getting
true.
excited about like what you put forward. So what was that moment for you? Like what was the first video that you put forward? What is something that people don't know about that first video?
Oh my god. I mean, honestly, even just looking back, because I think it was I don't know if it was months back or whatever, I started looking back at like way, way, way before when I was like first posting. And again, I honestly think that in my head, like whatever with whatever what I was doing, like literally even like several years ago, or even like years before I even started like even knowing about streaming, I was still trying to figure out things in social media and stuff like that. I had a job in that as well, like before that too. And so again, like it's hard to say because I will say that I think I always posted with some kind of intention. I think I would probably not be on social media, like barely at all, if I didn't have an intention towards like growing in some kind of way. I think otherwise I would just completely remove myself from it because we all know how anxiety inducing social media can be and
Oh
how
yeah.
it has a lot of negative things about it as well. And it is almost impossible not to doom scroll. You know what I mean? Like even if you're just trying to respond to a friend and you look at one of the memes they sent you, you're immediately in that doom scroll. Like it's literally
It,
feels like sorry about the sun, by the way. This happens.
no,
Like
you're
it'll
okay.
like the sun is like glaring in my room right now, and I don't know how to like I need to figure out the lighting. But
You're
anyway,
totally cool. No
but
worries.
I feel like the first post where I actually felt like I could go somewhere just in the social media itself and not just streaming was when I posted about Chimera Land. And Chimera Land is freaking amazing, but it kind of went downhill like years ago. But it was such a good game. And I remember that was like the first post that kind of blew up for me. It got like 50,000 views. And I was just so, so, so excited about it. And that's when I actually started trying to post way more because before that I really wasn't, you know what I mean? I think social media it's so hard to like break into it. Even now, just
Oh
trying to get
yeah.
followers is like such an effort. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like it's so hard to grasp like what is going to be successful. Like even on Facebook right now, I have some posts that are like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they're 1,000, sometimes they're 10,000, sometimes they're more than that. Like you know what I mean? Or like 100,000, whatever. Usually it's like below that, but it's just kind of like you honestly don't know what's going to go viral sometimes. Sometimes
And
it's just so hard to know what's going to work.
that's a huge thing. Like you never know what's gonna go viral. I mean, like for any aspiring creator, somebody who wants to like get into the world of content, my mentality to for you, something I would want you to know is to just post. Because it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you get 1 view or 1 million views, it's gonna be the same. You still want to check back on your post, you still want to respond to comments, you still want to like genuinely talk to people and like get to know people and like you want to be able to post that content because like so I made a video combining technology and Call of Duty, right? Something that I
Mhm.
didn't think was going to blow up. It's still my biggest video to date. It still has over 2 million views, and I'm still getting likes
That's
and comments on
awesome.
my backup account. Not my main account, on my backup percussive 173 account.
No!
But it's crazy to think about. Like, you never know
Yeah.
um what's gonna blow up and what isn't. And just post and like keep learning and like I say this
Do it.
over and over and over. Content creation is a journey, and so many people are so focused about the destination and they forget about the journey.
That's so hard. I struggle with that literally every day. I know that
Mhm.
sounds like, you know what I mean, but every day I struggle with that because you see it, right? You see what
Yeah.
your numbers are right now. You see the last post you did, whether or not you're happy or unhappy with it, whatever. But
People think
or
it's
your
keeping up with
last
the
stream.
Joneses.
What's that?
They think it's like keeping up with the Joneses. It's not. Challenge yourself, you know?
You know, that's a good point. I think it's so hard though not to compare yourself, and that's
True.
where I mean that really is probably one of the most difficult parts about the entertainment industry is comparing the
And
comparison factor.
we all have that mentality where we compare ourselves to others and like where we think
Yeah.
that like our way is the right way or their way is the right way. And like for example, like we go into things and we're like, all right, cool. I have to do this because I saw Steffi Evans do this, or I have to do this because I saw um
Mhm. Oh, so true.
You know, it's like,
or like, why didn't I think of that? Oh,
or maybe you did think of it and somebody else changed it just slightly to make it even more viral. And I love and welcome people who do content like that. Like, it's huge for me. Like, I actually challenge people, like, if you want to go into the podcast world and make a better podcast, do it. By all means, just do it. Have fun with it.
I agree. I mean, I agree. Yeah.
So what do you think, talking about all this misunderstanding and all that jazz, what do you think is the most misunderstood part of being a content creator?
Oh, I think the most understood part is that it's this get rich quick kind of thing, when in fact, most people that are going to pursue content creation, most people that are going to pursue streaming, this is based on research I've done. This is not just something I'm not just like talking out of my the rating here. Is this like
you can swear, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
like, can I say ass? Like, what can I say?
You can say ass, you can say titties, you can say fuck. I mean, it's all good. We're all Gucci here. It's an 18 plus.
Okay, no, great, excellent. Okay, so yeah, no, I really do think people think it's like a rich quick scheme. And again, like I've said, even just with the research I've done on like just success that streamers and content creators have, most likely you're not going to make enough to even pay off like a bill. You know what I mean? Like, most people will not make enough to make it by. Like, that's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, then again, I think that everyone has a niche. So I don't think that it's not possible for everyone, because I think everyone has a niche they could probably get into. You don't need to necessarily show your face. You don't need to necessarily, like, there's so many things in the world. I know that there's a niche for everyone, but they don't realize how much work it actually is. And I think a lot of people give up because it's usually a lot more hours than like an average job would be. People don't realize that. Like, a lot of those people that you see that are huge, like even we're talking about Sasky, Steffi Evans, all that kind of stuff. They're not just streaming. Let's just say they have an editor. They're not just doing that either. They're also engaging on posts, and that takes random time up as well. They're also making that content themselves, putting themselves out there in that stream. They're also going out to events and getting interviewed and doing all those things. Events themselves are so exhausting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing the things. They're putting in a lot more hours than people think. And a lot of what they have to do in the day-to-day basis, even if it is like remaining healthy so they can actually keep these schedules, is a lot more work than a typical 9 to 5. It just is, you know what I mean? And so it just, I mean, yeah, it's a sweaty, like sweaty in a like mental sense, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I agree with you 100%. There's so many things that are behind the scenes. Excuse me. There's so many things behind the scenes that people don't even realize when it comes to the world of content. Like, you look at all these creators blowing up and like doing their thing and like just having fun and like being themselves. They are busting their ass behind the scenes. Like,
literally,
when you see us live on camera, you're not seeing the other 95%. You're not seeing the marketing that we're putting forward. You're not seeing the audio engineering that we're putting forward. You're not seeing the artistic side that we're putting forward. Like, the editing, the clipping, like, we're doing everything ourselves, especially as a smaller creator. And that is like one of the biggest things that people misunderstand in the world of content. Like, there was a whole Twitter bot brigade at one point where people were saying content creation isn't a real job. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's actually about 27 jobs, but I mean, hey, who's counting?
Yeah, literally. No, that's like similar to like, I know that they say, okay, with like the stay-at-home parents, okay, like that, not to even like, you know, go to a specific like gender or anything like that. But a lot of like stay-at-home parents, like, they're not just taking care of the kid. They're cleaning, they're the chef, they're the maid, they're the like they're the therapist. Like, they're like all of these things in
Everything.
one. They're the teacher, they're like, there's just so many hats you have to wear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much more than just like, oh, there's a kid there. Like, if you could literally just focus on the kid the whole time, like, that's just not a thing. That's just not a thing. That's not real life. And but that's what content creation honestly reminds me of. It really is just so many things, again, like you said, behind the scenes that nobody's thinking about. Not even talking about the fact that, like, you might need therapy just due to the streamerverse alone.
Oh, that is such an understatement. It is so exhausting. Everywhere you go, you get ripped apart by other streamers. You get ripped apart by other viewers. You get ripped apart by random commenters. Like, people think that we're not enough. This is one of those, like, so unrewarding but also at the same time
Super
extremely
rewarding.
rewarding.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it, like, it's such a
Mhm, mhm.
vast industry with so many different things and so many different avenues. Like, you'll get follow botted, you'll get view botted, you'll get rage baited, you'll get like, and people will literally sell their soul just to get a click. Like, that's a whole other side of content creation that like we
Yeah,
could talk about. And
absolutely.
like all this stuff, this mental side of things, it leads to burnout. And people will get burnout. It's part of being content creation. Like, for example, I spent the last 2 weeks doing the following. I'm not going to go like crazy into this, but like I produced my
Mhm.
own podcast that you guys won't ever be able to see. Then I went from that podcast, I went to Atlanta, I went to DreamHack. Then I went from DreamHack back home, did a whole full-time week of work, created videos, created content, and then I went to Bruce Springsteen last night. And now I have a podcast today with Professor Stock, a podcast tomorrow with Smirky, and then I'm going to the Cavs game. Let's go Cavs
Ooh.
on Monday. So like my weekend is like chock full and like it's never stopped because
Mhm.
we do real life stuff. Like it's definitely causes burnout. And my
Yeah,
question to
absolutely.
you is, have you ever dealt with burnout? And how do you handle burnout?
Like, again, I always like not to like constantly compare it to parenting, but I feel it's like
Mhm.
that thing where it's like a constant thing. And I know there's quite a few like especially prominent streamers out there that they advise you, you know, they're like eat healthy, do the like work out, do the things, like make sure to like drink a lot of water, like take care of yourself as a content creator, because a lot of times we forget to do that. Like a lot of the times we forget to do that. And I feel like I still deal with burnout. Like I feel like
Mhm.
actually every single week I have a different burnout. So I do week on, week off. Like I have two of my kiddos full time, and my youngest I have week on, week off. And there's always that week of like the parenting where I actually just feel so burnt out. But then I'm kind of like, okay, but I gotta hop on into the stream mode. You know what I mean? But then after a week of that, you got like there's different burnouts all the time. But I will say that I'm not the healthiest. Like I wouldn't really be the go-to person to like tell you how to healthily do this, because I seriously experience burnout like all the time. Like
Well,
all the time.
I will counter that by saying sometimes the people who experience that most of all are the people who are best qualified to discuss it. As I deal with burnout,
Interesting.
so I deal with
Yeah.
burnout a lot too. Obviously, I have a ridiculously busy schedule, and the way
Mhm.
I handle burnout is I go out and do things. And everyone's like, "What do you mean?" Like, if I'm burnt out by something, whether it's work, um, whether it's content creation, I stop it temporarily for like a day, like or a couple days. Like I'll go out and touch grass. I'll go for a walk. I'll do things. I'll change the scenery. I'll go sit at a coffee shop and drink an espresso, and people watch. You know, because sometimes people, the city of Cleveland is such a weird city, that like I'll see something and it'll inspire me to make something within content. You never know what's going to happen out there. And there's so many different amazing beautiful things that are in the world of content creation, um that literally inspire you from the outside. So I deal with burnout by doing other things, by taking a trip, by being outside, by doing things that I can actually control. Because eventually when I come back, I'll be motivated to do those things even better.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's good advice for that, I think.
Thank you.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
are there days where like you know you have to stream or like you're ready to stream but you're just not wanting to really post or stream? Do you ever feel like pressured in that avenue when it comes to burnout or
Yes.
something?
Absolutely. I think because I do this as like this is like the way I make my income, this is how I support my kids. I think that makes it that much more panic inducing because obviously there's never any expectation for people to sub, for people to drop biddies, donations, like all that kind of stuff. Like that's not something I will ever expect from people, because that's literally, you know what I mean? Like they could be spending that on like literally anything else, groceries, whatever. That being said, that doesn't mean there isn't that pressure that I feel, you know what I mean, on the
Mhm.
inside, being like, "Oh my god, if I don't make this certain amount, then like I should quit. Like I should just quit streaming." And I think that I have that like every single month where I'm looking at all my analytics, I'm looking at my earnings, and I'm like, "Is there something better I could be doing for the sake of my kids? Or is this You know what I mean? Or am I
That's
showing them that you can be passionate about something and make it? You know what I mean? It's like, what is like the right answer for that? And that's like really hard, honestly. Like I guess I do struggle with that a lot, and like especially not feeling that like I think because of that pressure, it makes me so angst to even start a stream. And it's not because I feel pressured by others or people at all, because I don't think I feel that so much as it's like within myself of just like I have to make sure I'm relevant, and just due to the algorithm, due to all of that alone, like you kind of have to stay relevant. So I think if anything, the pressure I'm feeling is from it's from the entertainment industry, you know what I mean? And that need online to like kind of always be seen, you know what I mean? Or people do forget you, you know what I mean? If you don't post for a couple weeks, there's a really huge likelihood people aren't going to follow you, or they're going to unfollow, they're going to do these stuff, you know what I mean? Which makes sense. And I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard one, because yeah, I guess I do feel that pressure every single time I stream, but once I'm in it, like I have so much fun. I love hanging out with people. Like I just feel like the community I have is like, oh, I just love them so much. Anyway, they're so
it's
freaking awesome,
huge.
and yeah, like honestly, they keep you alive, really. You know what I mean? Like within the space,
And
like for sure.
that brings up an amazing point, because like one of our like clutches as creators is our community.
Totally.
We grow a community, we create a community, and it's literally just it's such a cool thing to think about, because you're yourself. You're out here doing whatever it is you're doing, and then you have people who like find you and they're like, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll drink water. You're right. It's important. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you have people like that find you randomly and then eventually become like your best friends from an online persona over time. And like
So
it is
crazy.
such an amazing thing, and it's such a weird thing too. Because like
Mhm.
there's
Mhm. Mhm.
caveats to that, obviously, like, but at the same point, like the community building aspect in the world of content is such a beautiful thing. And I really think that that's what gets me out of burnout. To be honest with you, like it's the community that will come together. Like I'll
Such
spend
a good point.
offline days with the community and go into my Minecraft server, right? And then we'll
Mhm.
just vibe out, and then we'll have fun. And now all of a sudden we're playing block like bowling with sulfur cubes instead of like sniping people in Call of Duty. It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing and such a unique thing. So that being said, when we're talking about growing a community, what do you do that helps you grow a community?
Oh my god, honestly, like I talk a lot, you know what I mean? And so and when it comes to like things that I really like talking about, whether it's like I mean, oh my god, there's just so many things, right? And I feel
Hmm.
like just being part of like a fandom and stuff like that, and different fandoms, I feel like that's what brings people together. So maybe I'll start playing a game or something like that that people are into. And like I'm finding that like a lot of like people that have ADHD as well come and hang out with me, because like they can actually handle me, if that makes sense, because I think I can be a little bit overstimulating for
ADHD
people.
club
Yeah,
represent.
yeah. But you know what? Like I'm trying to think of what I do to like bring in the community, but I think a lot of the time like I don't know, I'm so grateful for the people I have like in my life in the streamerverse, like honestly, but I feel like how we first usually meet is the games I'm playing, because I play kind of the most well, I play so many things. I'm now that I think of it, like there's indie, there's retro. It's the most variety kind of gaming like ever, because I just played Resident Evil, right? Um I'm trying to think, like I don't know
Well,
really necessarily what's bringing the community here as much as like, you know, I think they're staying for the fact that like we have all these things in common. We have all these loves and these interests, and just all of us loving gaming, you know? I feel like the people that come into my chat, like usually they love like a multitude of games. They're not stuck on not that it's bad to be stuck. I don't even mean to say it that way. But they you know what I mean? Like, but they obviously are okay with seeing a bunch of different games, and the fact that like they just like nerding out on like everything with me. I feel like that's what's been maybe keeping us together. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of like I should honestly ask my community about that. I would actually love to like I don't know if they have any sort of answers on that, on why they're sticking around or why they still want to hang out, cuz sometimes I honestly wonder myself, but I guess I
Dude,
just kind of
you and me both.
yeah.
It's like
But yeah,
it's people follow me and I'm like, congratulations, you just followed a fat 30-year-old. Yes. But
that's crazy. I keep forgetting how young you are.
I know, right? I have the people are like, you have the mindset of like an old man. I'm like, I probably am an old man. I'm unk status. You might not call me a boomer. I might be a boomer from a mentality perspective.
No way, no way. No. I would not say that. That would actually be, you probably wouldn't even have me on. Let's be real here.
Dude, so my mentality is honestly, like, you talk about like meeting people in different communities. Like, the funny thing
Yeah.
is, like, when I met you at the DreamHack like last year. The first time I met you, I didn't even know who you were. And we're sitting here like with the same friend group at a table, and then like it just reached out, and then we started talking and like being friends that way.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that was awesome actually. Wait, that was at like the Red Bull thing or?
It was at the Red Bull party. Like I was the one sitting in the corner, like, because like me being an anti-social nerd. Yeah.
This you kind of table thing, right? It's
Yeah.
A couch is like a you.
And that
you're on the other
guy was like
side. Oh my
flirting
god,
with
yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Actually, that's so crazy. Wow, because we just like picked it up just from there. And just started, like,
and we just started vibing like from that point.
Yeah.
And, like, it's crazy. Like, remember, like, every time you see us online, we're all human beings. And that's why I love conventions, and I'll go to conventions all the time. I'll go to places like DreamHack or TwitchCon if I can afford it. Obviously, don't ever feel pressured to go to a convention unless you can actually afford it. Your fiscal purposes come first. That's why, like, I don't even really acknowledge subs. So, like, if you guys end up subbing, like, awesome, I appreciate it. Like, that's not the point. But, like, when it comes to, like, meeting people, just remember we're human beings. It's awesome. And it's how we stay authentic. It's how we grow. And, like, I'm going to be the same person you're going to meet in person that you're going to see online. I'm never going to change. But that's because I'm a derp. And we love derps.
We love derps. We love them.
So one of the huge things that I bring up in the podcast is authenticity. One of the things you'll hear me consistently say for any aspiring content creator is be enthusiastically, authentically yourself. So what is something that you do that allows you to be enthusiastically, authentically yourself when you're trying to grow?
What do I do? Honestly. Oh man, what do I do? That's like, oh my god, that's
It's
crazy.
such a good question.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so one thing that like I struggled with, I had like, past relationships, even like someone in my family that just made it like very obvious at how loud I am. You know what I mean? Like they didn't like how loud I am. They kind of like sometimes I can come across as like obnoxious, like that kind of thing. And that's something that I kind of was like, say made fun of for, but definitely made to feel like I was too loud as a person. You know what I mean? Like, and this wasn't my whole family at all. So that's why I say like a specific member, you know what I mean? And like, and then just like different like people throughout my life that kind of just like, I don't know that they were embarrassed of me as much as like, they just thought I was so loud. And so I would always try to like, kind of like, not be as loud, and I'd have these moments where I'd like accidentally just like be myself and like be really loud, and then I'd regret it. I'd think about it the next day like, oh my god, I was so obnoxious, like everyone hates me, no one's gonna want to be around that loud friend, like, they don't want that person, they're just like attention seekers. Like I was just putting all this stuff on me, like just because a few people that I really valued their like validation in my life, but they were giving me obviously really negative, you know what I mean, feedback. And I think realizing like just being loud and being all that stuff on stream has never served me negatively. It has never been a downside. You know what I mean? It's like anyone that can't handle me, they will leave, not that I want people to leave my stream because I'm too loud. I obviously don't want that. I want people to like me, but I honestly think that trying really hard to like ignore like all of those things about like me feeling obnoxious and loud, regardless of how I feel about it, even when I'm posting content, when I see sometimes, when you're like editing your content and you see how like you see a post and you kind of like maybe you think to yourself how cringe it is and all that kind of stuff. That one post that did like the best for me like years ago, like with the Camerland post, that was one that I was so embarrassed. Like I'm not gonna post this. I'm literally just going, like that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything. Like this is not entertaining. This is annoying. And then I posted it and it did the best. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. So like maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe I just need to keep like just trying to be myself, but I'm still struggling with that so much. Like I still struggle with all of that. But that is something I'm trying to like keep unlearning, because if it wasn't for being loud, if it wasn't for being like how I am, I wouldn't have the community I do. You know what I mean? Like that,
Oh
like,
yeah.
obviously hopefully they're here for a reason. But yeah, no, anyway. But I think that that's like the one thing that has served me through, is just kind of continuing to be that loud person. That's just, I don't know. I don't know if I
It
explained that well at all, to be honest.
in my side of things, I'm a Call of Duty creator, so like you have to be completely different than everyone else because it's a completely
Mm,
oversaturated field.
it's so
Like
saturated,
some
so
people create
saturated.
their like own personas while playing COD. Like some people, like it just you have to do what you're having fun with, and like people forget that
Mhm,
like
mhm.
it's all about having fun. And if you have fun, then people are gonna want to flock to you. People are gonna want to hang out. They're gonna want
That's
to kick it.
true. That's true. That's true.
And I see
That's
that
a good
happen
point.
all the time, like with community and how I stay enthusiastically, authentically myself. Like even in my latest post, I grabbed somebody that has a meat shield in Call of Duty. Actually, I think it was Dwight Howard. When I was playing COD with Dwight Howard at DreamHack, and so I
Wait,
grabbed him
wait,
and I'm
wait,
like,
wait. Like the real
yeah, like
Dwight Howard.
yeah, that was one of the things on Sunday night. We were from like 3 to 6. It was Call of Duty with Dwight Howard, and I was
That's
running
so
around with a sniper. And I grab him and I'm like, "Oh, hey, how's your day going?" And like, "You
that's
doing well?"
awesome.
It's
Okay. First,
mhm.
at first I was thought you were talking about Schrute, like Dwight Schrute, and I
Oh no,
totally
like
was
the
like, wait, that's not his
Superman,
actual
like the
name.
basketball 7-footer.
Oh my
I
God, I'm
I
so
meant to
sorry
I meant to
to
tell him he's
Dwight
short.
Howard. I'm sorry, Dwight. I was thinking Dwight, like Office Dwight, and
Oh,
I was like,
okay, so
anyway,
that would
not
be
that like that's
amazing.
still cool. That's still cool. I don't know. I'm not
I
as
love
familiar
The
with Dwight Howard.
Office. I love The Office.
It's so good. It's so good.
So
Anyway, sorry.
yeah.
Different Dwight.
So
Different
like
Dwight.
my content shines through my authenticity and personality. So like even in my latest post, like I grab him and I'm like, "Oh, hey, how's your day? I think we should push you off the edge." So then I hit the assassination button and push him off the edge with a grenade on his back, and it was really funny. And then the next round, I grab him again. I'm like, "Oh, hey again. How's your day going?" And they're like, "Oh, guys, there's a 5v1." I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's not. I got them." And then I jump off the ledge with them. I just do things that are just funny, that are just like brings people in. And like no,
Yeah.
it's all about just being yourself, and then people will just have fun with
Mhm.
it. And like, have you ever felt like you were becoming a version of yourself only for the content versus just being who you are on a day to day? Was there like a line there?
Mm, I mean, I do act differently. Like,
Ooh, I think we froze a little bit. Gonna wait for
oh,
Discord to
really?
settle down.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me
we're
know.
back. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Oh,
sweet.
yeah. I think, okay, I do think I act a little bit differently in the sense of I have more of like a customer service like mindset when I'm streaming, because as much as like I think because I'm not solely doing this just for fun, I also want to make, I want to make something of myself and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I want to
Mm-hmm.
grow. I think there's always, and I think that I don't even think that we're faking it by being different on stream versus like off stream, in the sense that like I think it's normal for all to have different faces for different things. Like I know Marty and I were talking about that, where it's like if we go to a family dinner or something like that, we're not going to be exactly the same as we would when we're streaming, like even Call of Duty, as you're saying, are like a really
Mm-hmm.
sweaty game. I'm not going to start saying like, suck my titties and stuff like that at the dinner table. Probably not something I'm going to do.
I mean that
Yeah,
could make the dinner a
unless
little more interesting. I'm just saying.
that's true. Yeah, I might get like, excommunicated, but it's fine. It's
Get kicked
totally
out of an
fine. Yeah.
Applebee's for that.
But no, I do think I'm a little bit different. A little bit different. I will say that like, oh, I don't know though. I think my kids would actually probably tell you it's pretty similar, but a little quieter, a little bit quieter. There's more moments of quiet when I'm off. You know what I mean? I do have like downtime moments where I'm not just like screaming. You know what I mean? But
For
yeah.
sure. So another avenue of content creation that I always like to bring up and have a discussion about is and I just lost my train of thought. Is the correct analytics. Because I know 95% of content creation is introspection, right? Where we have to look back at our streams. We have to look back at the dead space. We have to see when people leave. when people join, when people stick
Right.
around, when people interact. So what analytics do you think are the best analytics to pay attention to?
Well, I mean, it's funny because I think almost every streamer that's partnered or verified in some way on some platform will always tell you stop looking at the viewership.
Mhm.
Stop. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That being said, that's still a goal. You know what I mean? That's still something you have to keep in mind when you're trying to get that partnership, when you're trying to get those things, because sponsorships, they do care. They do care about that. Follower count, they do care about that. Engagement, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff, depending on where you want to go, all of it's important to look at. Like, as far as what the most important thing is, I think just making sure you're growing in some sort of way. You know what I mean? Like if you're plateauing on every single platform and there's not a single area you're growing, you're not getting any followers, you're not getting an extra engagement, it's still like you're not meeting anyone new, anything like that. I think that's when you have to kind of start looking at things because we're looking at Mixer too, right? When Mixer on their last year, they only grew 1.2%. So if you think about that, they were keeping all of the people. They were keeping, like, there was a lot of loyal people, but it only grew 1.2%. That's not good, like, obviously, right? And that's not something we want to see for ourselves either. If we're only growing 1.2% a year, seriously, there's obviously something we need to work on. You know what I mean? Like, but that's hard because again, like, I will always like I look at like all of my socials and some socials I'll see myself lose like 10 followers in like a few days and I'm like, what the and then you'll see it climb slowly again. But again, like I have to always make sure that I'm looking at all of my platforms or I start spiraling. You know what I mean? If you're
It's
just looking
so
at one of
important.
them, you're gonna just give up, honestly.
It's so important to like diversify your content and like everybody keeps saying post everywhere. And the reason why we
Post
keep saying
everywhere.
post everywhere is because one platform might blow up and you never knew it. Now the funny thing
You will
about that
never
is
know.
like Snapchat for me was one of those platforms. I'm just sitting here vibing, just posting like prop hunt videos from Call of Duty, and then all of a sudden my Snapchat blows up, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is funny." I didn't even notice because I don't get notifications from Snapchat because I mute notifications from Snapchat because like I don't really use it. So I look at my public
Mhm.
profile and I'm like, "Wait a second, when the hell did I get 2,000 followers? The hell did you all come from?"
That's crazy. That's like crazy. You know, I'm actually like writing that down because I keep forgetting to download Snapchat
Dude,
to
Snapchat
do the thing.
Spotlight is goaded for
It's
content creation, and like I
okay,
get
that's actually
more
good to know.
people that come into my stream from Snapchat than I do from TikTok. And like what's really
Mhm.
funny is like
Mhm.
we had this conversation earlier today. It's like, all right, so which platform am I going to stream to like get more people in? I'm like, all right, so this time I'm not going to go to TikTok. And the reason why I don't want to stream on TikTok is because there isn't really benefit of having a podcast conversation on TikTok. But OWN, on the other hand, I want to stream to because I think it's going to be good to have that type of mentality on that platform for OWN. And like, we literally, like, you listen to me go through the motions in my head as I was setting things up, and it's a cool content creation thing that I don't think a lot of people see.
That's so true. That's so true. Because it's like there's a lot of thought going into all these things. Like people aren't
Yeah,
just like I think there are some people that are literally just pressing the button and not
yeah.
putting any effort in. But usually those are the but and again, I think there is luck. I think there's all these kind of things. I think that sometimes you never know what'll make you go viral or blow up or whatever. So I'm not saying that just pressing the button is a bad thing, but
Well,
again, it's all about intention, really.
it's discoverability on all platforms, and also yes, Dan from Snapchat, 100%. Snapchat's goaded. There are so all the streaming
Yeah.
platforms out there right now are like
Are you on Snapchat right now? I'm so sorry.
no. I'm not streaming on Snapchat. You can't stream to
Okay, sorry.
Snapchat yet. You can't stream there yet.
No, I was like, sorry. I thought you said someone said hi to someone on there. I'm like,
Oh
what?
no,
Like,
no.
sorry, that was like a whole other world for me. I'm like,
Dan's on Kick. So I multi-stream. I have a bunch of different
mm-hmm.
I have a bunch all my chats kind of like lined up into one. So like a shout out to Meld for that. Like I do really enjoy streaming utilizing Meld's tool. But like when you all platform discoverability on these streaming platforms is like awful. No one's gonna just find who you are just by pressing a live button. You got to put yourself out there in a completely different area, right? And like for example, for me, I'm posting to TikTok, I'm posting to Meta, I'm posting to Snapchat, to Facebook, to Instagram, to Own, to Upscroll, to Clapper. Like, I'm posting fucking everywhere. My content is gonna be on every platform, and the reason why is I don't want people to make an account of mine and start like posting things negatively about me. Shoot, I even have an OnlyFans, but that's so nobody takes my name. So it's like you never know what platform is gonna blow up. You genuinely don't. So post everywhere, post often, interact with your commenters. Like for me, like my most interactive platform is Twitter. For some reason, Twitter loves me. I don't understand why. All I do is shit talk. But
I think that's why they love you then. That's probably why they love you.
I just shit talk the Cavs. But is there a platform that like you think that we should put most of our attention to?
Okay. You know what? Actually, I don't know if I just saw that Cosmo was on the I don't know if he's still there on
We love Cosmo.
side. We love Cosmo. Cosmo has blown up on YouTube.
YouTube's goated.
And yeah, and so it's like honestly, like if I had to choose one platform that was going to be the most effective, like overall, and we could just be insta successful on it, like it would probably be YouTube. It would be YouTube. I was going to say maybe TikTok, but I will say YouTube for the sake that like every single generation is on YouTube. Not every generation is on TikTok. But I don't know a single person who hasn't heard of YouTube. I've actually heard of some people who don't really know what TikTok is. So they're like very far removed from like, the online world in general. Obviously, if you don't know what TikTok is. But I know plenty of people that don't have accounts, all that kind of stuff. YouTube, everybody has a YouTube. Whether or not they have an account, they certainly are looking stuff up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That's just without a doubt. You know what I mean? And so I would say YouTube would probably be like the best one. But TikTok would be second. If I could choose like two to be like the most successful on, but I would say like YouTube. Like if you don't need to be making money right now through like streams, through all that kind of stuff, if you're not already like relying on an income, you have another job and you want to just like slowly grow somewhere without like the stress of having like a live thing, you know what I mean? Like frick, post on YouTube.
Mhm.
Post on YouTube. Like that's gotta be it, right? Like
I will agree with you on YouTube 100%. My secondary platform that I think everybody should be focusing on right now would have to be Meta Suite. You can make money off of Meta Suite just by utilizing their tools and their like AB Reels, for example, on Facebook. So like if you post to Meta Suite, utilize their products as you're posting, their algorithm's going to see your content and it's going to be like, "Oh wait, yo, they're using my stuff. Push them out there. Push them out there." And like
that's yeah.
So
yeah.
Definitely
That's true.
Post to Facebook, create your own Facebook gaming page.
You should.
Post to Instagram, create your own gaming Instagram page. And like stop it. Sorry, I've had a pop up right now from Norton.
Pop up
from Norton Utility Tools, being like, "Hey, we should run this because you haven't done this in a while." And I'm like, "Okay."
They're like, yeah, it's like just later.
Just
no,
a little bit later. You.
But
yeah.
I agree with what you're saying about Facebook. Like, I should note that like I do actually make money on there. It's it's enough to pay like one bill like a month. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing crazy at all. But it's still money. So that's actually a really good point. Don't sleep on Facebook because you know what I mean? That is where I get the most views, like overall. But
you say hi to my cat, who definitely heard you, so she just came over. She's probably gonna jump up and say hello in a second. But but
cutie.
I agree with you 100% in regards to like Facebook and like looking at the correct analytics, and like a lot of people forget the right analytics to look at. Like I think I've said it once already, but whenever speaking of jumping up, hi sweetheart. But whenever I do content in the world of content, come on, we have to look at the right analytics, right? And those correct analytics are when people leave your streams. So you want to pay attention to when people leave your stream, so you know what you said, so you know what happened, so you can learn from it. What do you think, Joplin? That's a very astute point.
Yeah, not the ear going back.
She's like, I don't know.
It's like I was literally just here to get pet. Like, leave me out of this.
She's like,
please.
don't ask me. I'm just a cat.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, secret ghost.
Secret
Like-
ghost.
I actually
Did
love
not
that.
expect the Joplin appearance, but we do love the kitty. But it's all about the right analytics and the right things to look into.
Mm.
And like certain platforms require certain things. You're right. She's like, I came for pets, not questions, father. But like,
Exactly. Oh,
so
sorry.
this is why like I do so well on like Twitter, because like I'll respond to people's like points and like I'll do a counterpoint and I'll like I'm not argumentative, right? I'm not
Mhm.
argumentative in the slightest, but I do like to open people's mindsets to different things. Except for the Cavs, they suck. Even though I love the Cavs because they're my home team, but that's a whole different story. But it's literally like, so for example, one of the things in a hot topic on Twitter right now is what's a subathon? So do you have any thoughts on what a subathon is?
I guess my like thought of what a subathon is something that you're like, whether it's a birthday, whether it's an event that you're saving up for, like DreamHack, for instance.
Mhm.
Yeah, just because I know a lot of people do subathons for events and all that kind of stuff, but I feel like birthdays are pretty huge. But usually a subathon is like a long ass stream, or however long, depending if you have incentives or whatever. But usually there's, obviously subscription incentives, et cetera. I feel like everyone has a different reason for doing a subathon, but usually there's a sub goal at the end. I feel like
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
it is at the end of the day. It's like trying to get a certain goal before the time it ends, or maybe it'll keep going until that goal is met.
And so for me, I've been thinking about subathons a lot. Mainly because that one tweet from Banana Splitty and like people responding to my tweets. I genuinely think that subathons are more geared towards like something that's continuous. It's a marathon. It's a sprint. It's something that you're doing to show love to your community in one way, shape, or form. In a way that like you're constantly streaming and you have a timer that's counting down the streaming avenue. Like literally the whole athon thing is from marathon. And that's what people kind of forget. It's like it's a rush. It's a thing. It's something that you're like going towards and like putting a whole bunch of energy towards. It's a big thing. And like you're welcome to call whatever you want. Like we're content creators. We're adults. You can do whatever it is that you need to do. But when it comes to like that stuff, like some people thought that I was gatekeeping, but I'm not. Like you can call
like gatekeeping subathons, or
I'm
like what?
My viewpoint is a subathon is a marathon. It's something that is continuous, and that continuous factor is what makes it an athon. Otherwise, it's just a sub incentive stream. That's my mindset, right?
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with having a sub incentive stream, but I do think there's a level of clarity that you need to have and transparency that you should have with your viewers and with your community, so that they don't just like gift randomly in the subathon and then all of a sudden you stop with like 49 hours left and go to sleep.
Right. I see what you're saying.
I mean, you could cap it. Obviously, like we're all adults. We all have like certain things that are going on in our lives. Something may happen and we may have to stop it. Like that, we're all adults. Things happen. But understanding that there are those specific avenues that we need to kind of pay attention to and look towards, that's kind of a thing. So I think people are kind of misinterpreting that, and that's okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm never mad at anybody. So let's kind of pop into like the whole reason why a lot of people are here. Do you think that monetization is the reason why you're here? Or what is the reason that makes you a content creator? We'll get down to the nitty gritty of it, chat.
Yeah. Well, let me is this in relation to the subathons?
Oh no, this is completely separate. I wanted to have a quick touch up on that.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to not obviously I know a lot of people have different versions of what they consider subathon, but I get what you're saying, because I do agree with what you're saying, where it's like, yeah, I guess what does make it one not versus like
The other.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like that is actually a really good point and something I didn't think about until you were talking about those tweets and people getting like upset at you too for like having a specific thing, which again, like everyone can have their own opinion on it, but I
You're
do
allowed to
agree
have your
that like
opinion.
I do agree that like, you know, if yeah, that's a hard one because I guess I do view subathons that way too. It's a continuous thing. It's a continuous thing and then you stop. But then sometimes, you know, things happen and you can't do that and you carry on the next day. Like there's
Right.
nothing wrong with that, but I get what you're saying cuz I guess that is what I view subathons as well. It's not a month-long thing. It's like a, you know, 24 to 48, 72
I mean, like, by all
hour
means,
kind of
like,
thing.
you can raise money for whatever cause you want, and, like, a
Yeah,
lot of people do
absolutely.
this with, like, charity, and it's amazing. Like, shoot, I've done a month-long event where I stream every single day, but all of my income is for donations for, like, St. Jude's. You know? It's like,
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
wanna make sure that we make an impact in any way that we know how, and that's not discounting, like, what it is or what it is not. It's just what we are and what we're trying to do. Like, we're just trying to be ourselves and have fun and like still keep ourselves like alive and relevant. But the whole a-thon is like literally a marathon. That's my only viewpoint on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. That's a good point, honestly. Like, yeah, I think you're right in that. Like for real. It's funny that people were giving you flack for that.
It's okay. And they're entitled to their opinion and I love them no matter
Yeah,
what.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is what it is. Yeah, sorry, what was your next question like
so
leading up to
we're
that?
actually talking about making money and monetization. Do you
Mhm.
think what is the real reason why you're here? Is it money? Is it community? Is it vibes? What makes Professor Stock want to be Professor Stock behind the camera?
Ooh, I mean, that's so funny because it's hard to like remove any sort of like reasoning behind it because I wouldn't be doing this. You know what? Who knows? I might be doing this like part time, a couple hours a night, an hour a night, or something like that. I think I would have enough fun that I would keep doing it as a thing. But as far as a full time thing, like the only reason I can do it as much as I do is because that's how I make a living. Otherwise, I would
Mm-hmm.
have to pursue a completely other thing. Like I would have
For
to. I'd
sure.
have to my kids, you know what I mean? So I will say that like that is a huge driving force, but I would never put so many hours into something like over full-time hours. I wouldn't be doing all of that if I wasn't passionate about gaming, about like talking about this stuff with people. Like I love the fact that I'm hanging out with people who
Yeah.
also like to game, who also like Lord of the Rings, different fandoms. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that everybody loves that like we just all love together. Pokemon, all that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
Pokemon.
yeah, and it's like I feel like there's just such a nerddom within the streamerverse. Like most people that are there don't just like one thing. They like so many things. And it's like I feel like I'm able to actually like just nerd out and like yeah, be myself in that way where it's not too nerdy because there's always someone else that knows more than me. So like there's always someone that's more of a nerd in that subject than you are. And so it's like that safe space of just like knowing that you know what I mean? You're not too much for like just talking about those things. It's not getting too boring because everybody loves it. So I will say that like the passion behind it, like just loving it so much and getting along with the community is like the reason I'm even still doing it. Like obviously and making the money, but I would choose to make money somewhere else. I would get like a warehouse job, put on some headphones, you know what I mean? Like stack stuff while like I think of those things as like that would be so like I would love totally love to do something like that. But yeah, so I guess it really isn't just like money at the end of the day. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's like at yeah, it really is the half of it. It's a huge driving force, but yeah, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for like how much fun I was having, for sure. Like I would be doing something way different because this is exhausting, right? And it's 24/7.
Yeah.
Like it really is. So
It's a never ending job. For me,
it's never ending.
I'm
Yeah.
actually really curious. And if somebody does guess it right, I guess I'll Venmo them $50 or something. But
That's
I'm
funny.
really curious. How much money do you guys think that I make in the world of content? Is it A, 0, B, 0 to 150, C, 150, this is per month, 150 to 1,000,
Okay.
or D, over 1,000? I'm genuinely curious what people think. What's your
Okay,
thought here?
tell me what tell me your frequency and where you're
I
posting.
I post 3 to 5 videos a week everywhere. and I stream 3 to 4 streams a week in multiple areas. Usually Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter.
So A
Zero.
is 0. B
Mhm.
is up to 150.
Mm-hmm.
C is 150 to 1K. D is 1K and up.
Mhm.
I'm going to go with C or D. I really want to. That's hard because
you actually don't know, because like you can't really judge a streamer based off of what they have.
no. So I would say like, oh, that's so hard. And you have a job outside of content creation, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is the only reason I would say maybe it's C rather than D, just because that might not be as much of like a focus for you. Like you might not like, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That being said, you're doing 3 to 5. I'm trying to
Sure.
like
No, you're okay. You're okay. I
gonna say
always love asking people this question. I think it's really
I'm
interesting.
gonna say C. I'm gonna say C, but it
Chat,
could
what do you
be
guys
D.
think?
Could be
Now
D.
that Chat is here, I'm curious what you guys think. A, B, C, or
Yeah,
D?
I'm
A
very
is 0,
curious.
B is 0 to 150, C is 150 to 1,000, D is over 1,000. And that's per month. I'm very curious what people think. I'll reveal the answer a little bit later.
Curious about this.
I'll
Yeah,
give you
like
guys like a little bit of
'cause I
time to
don't
lock it
know.
in.
Yeah, it's like, 'cause are
So-
you sponsored? Like, what's
Oh, I'm
the...
sponsored. I'm sponsored with Zenni. I'm sponsored with. The question is, how much money do I make? The question is, do I make $0 a month? $0 to $150 a month. That's B. C is $150 to $1,000 a month. D is over 1,000. All right. So I see a lot of people starting to say C. Cool. But that we'll ask a question in the interim when we're talking about
I'm so curious.
expectations. So I see some people saying D. Okay. All right. So here's the answer. The answer is B. I have never made over $150 yet.
No way.
In every month. Because
No way. That's crazy.
and you want to know what's crazy about the way that I do my content and all my stuff is like I don't do it to make money. I don't do this to make money at all. So if people gift things, they gift things. Cool. Like that's awesome. But like I don't do content creation to make money. I do content creation to aspiring creators and to show that anybody is able to be a creator if they put their mind to it and they're in the right space. My goal is not to be the next biggest streamer. My goal is to just be here and just be with the community and create a community and just have fun. Money helps. Obviously, like money is really cool. And like there has been times where I put on like a birthday subathon, and that birthday subathon, like, and I do this every year, speaking of subathons, where I'll make like over $1,000. But my goal for that is I take 50% of everything that I make from that subathon and I gift it to 50% of it to a charity. So they know that things are going to me and they're also going to a charity that I'm supporting. So it really just depends. Like there are times where I'll make more. So for those of you who said C, you might be right 1 or 2 months a year. But for me, it's not about the money. It's never been about the money. It's always been about the camaraderie. It's always been about the communication. It's always been about just having fun and being ourselves. So it's like the world of content is such a vast place. There's so many different avenues. There's so many people who can make it about money. There's so many people who can make it about like whatever. I just do it because I want people to inspire people to be creators and to just have fun. And yes, Nova, I agree. That is very, very crazy. And Audrey, I always appreciate you. So we talked a little bit about money. We talked about community. We talked about identity and authenticity. Let's talk about the amount of hats that we wear as streamers. What jobs do you think that we do as streamers, since I know you know them, that some people may not think that are actually the jobs that we do as streamers?
Oh, God. I mean, obviously, graphic design. We have to do that. Again, not saying that I'm proficient in this, which I am not, but that is one of the things I have to do. Video editing. I'd say like video editing. I mean, let's even just go into audio. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Especially like finding out about like the different jobs like video engineering versus or sound engineering, all that kind of stuff, or like whatever. I don't even know the proper titles or whatever.
Sure.
But there's like all of those things to consider as well. We have to figure out all of it, the sound, the video, the images, the like even the overlays. I'm trying to think of like what else. We also need to work on our like copy, right? So like copywriting like stuff like literally which is literally just like writing out like your things like whether it's like your about section, your profiles, like whatever, like so we have to do all of that as well. So I feel like that's also getting into like marketing, so you have
Mhm.
to learn marketing skills as well. Not only that, it's like you could be a social media manager, considered that as well, because it is only for your channel, but still, you know what I mean? Like that's a whole other thing as well. How many did I list just there? I
Oh,
don't
at
know, like
least at
5.
least like 6, 7.
Like yeah,
6
like there's
wait,
so much
6,
like
7.
oh my god. So glad my kids aren't here. They just hate it when I say that. Even when it's an accident, I'm literally counting things and I'm like 5, 6, 7. They're like, "Why, mom? Why?" And I'm like, "I'm just counting. Like, it's not even on purpose." It's like,
There's so
why would you
many
do
there's
that?
so many hats we wear as creators, and like
Yeah,
the
literally.
marketing is such a big one because like we have to come up with the best SEO metrics to be able to post, like to come up with a title for our videos. Like we can't just post a video and say I had fun here. Okay? You have to be it
Hi. And
it's like this is my full-time job, or it's like I made this person rage in Call of Duty. Okay, cool. That's a hook. Like you're coming up with hooks, you're coming up with things, you're
yeah,
coming up with
yeah,
things to
that's
put
true.
together. Like
That's true.
you're looking at the proper tags to post on YouTube. Like you're editing those tags, you're doing it now and again for all your past videos, trying to get those up to the
Mhm.
case. Because if you edit your past videos on YouTube, they're going to change the algorithm and push them again, and more people are going to view your old videos now too. It's really really cool to watch and see like some of the things that like you guys can do. It's like audio engineers, video editors, marketing personnel,
Mhm. Customer
pro-
service, because we talked about
project
that before. Like, you
project
need
managers.
social skills.
Oh
There we
yeah.
go. That as well. It's like, yeah, like you need a bunch of different, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people too who like who even tell me like I remember a couple friends who like they would be like, oh yeah, I really want to get into streaming, and they'd stream, but they literally wouldn't respond to anyone in chat. They wouldn't like they wouldn't do any of it, and it was just kind of like you can't just game right now like as who you are right now with like nobody there like and, like or nobody knows you yet, all this kind of stuff. It's like when you're a celebrity, when you're at that point of fame, you can literally almost make whatever you want and you're gonna get a lot of views, maybe
Oh
not as
yeah.
much as if you put effort into it, but as of now you can't really just game something and just exist, and people are going to want to watch that. They're like, I literally could just play this game, or I literally could just watch a long playthrough on YouTube. Like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, and
Exactly.
so yeah, anyway, yeah, there's so many things. There's so many things.
There's so many hidden jobs that people don't even realize or don't even notice.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, one of
It's
my
true.
favorite questions that I like to ask when you were first starting out as a content creator, we're going to go back to the original point of the podcast, which is to inspire any newer creators that want to delve into
Mm.
the world of content. So, if you were to tell yourself one thing when you first started creating, what would that one thing be?
Oh my god. I mean, I feel like the one thing, okay, one of the things would be like don't compare yourself, but that's like a pretty like standard kind of like thing that everybody kind of knows already, I would say. Um Another thing would be like, don't look at the views, try not to focus on all that kind of stuff. But again, that's something that I feel like a lot of people might know already. I'm trying to think of something that I would have heard that would have honestly okay, this is actually something I talked about in another talk show as well. I will say and I will say like maybe the opposite would have been the most like profound for me to hear. But basically I was telling them what I heard from a big streamer that I was really like fangirling over. They were sponsored by all the people. They gave me they said this one thing when I was actually interviewing them, and they were basically like, if you have an anxiety, like if you have any anxiety, don't stream. Don't
Yep.
do it. And it was like don't do it, you're not going to make it, all this kind of stuff. I really took that to heart and felt like I couldn't make it because of my literally, and a lot of people already know this, I was diagnosed a while ago with severe depression and severe anxiety. And so those are both obviously very prevalent in my life almost at all times. You know what I mean? It's like constantly trying to battle that, you know what I mean? And I think that taking that on, like if I would have just heard, oh man, that's so hard because like yeah, I'm really trying to think of what would make like what would have made the biggest difference for me, but I really do think like if someone would have said to me like, "Hey, like there's a niche for everyone. There is an audience for you out there." I guess that is the one thing I would honestly say. There is a niche for you. There is an audience for you. You got to find it. It might take a long time. Like if you truly are passionate about this and want this to work, don't give up. Just don't give up. You know what I mean? I think that's like a whole thing, but it's like and I know a lot of people say that and it's like and I think there's a lot of people that honestly probably do it for too long and just like, end up getting depressed and all this kind of stuff and regretting never getting into it. But I will say, like, if you're truly passionate about it, if in your heart you're thinking about this all the time too, and you're like, I want to post, I want to get out there, I want to grow, there's an audience for you. There is. Like just like we can all make like we all have different groups of friends that we fit into, you know what I mean? Like some more than others. And I think that that's the case with content creation as well. I think if you just do your best to do as much research as you can and like find that community, go to other communities. Don't wait for people to come to you. And also don't expect anything when you go to other communities. I think, okay, you know what? That would be a huge thing I would suggest. I know I was like saying a million things. I'm trying to think of the one thing, but the one big thing yeah, okay. Oh my God, there's just so many things to do, but the one big thing is like go for it, but don't expect anything in return. Maybe that's what I should say, honestly. Go for your passion, go for what you love, keep doing it, but like please don't have expectations, don't feel entitled to people's time, just don't feel entitled because I think you
Yeah.
go in and you like keep hoping, keep dreaming, keep like your hopes high, do it, you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying to not have unrealistic expectations or that you can't have high expectations, but it really is like that entitlement that people feel that is keeping them from growing as well is because they see these views and they immediately think of the people that didn't like their post. They immediately think of the people that didn't show up in their stream that one day that showed up all those other days. And they're literally blaming everyone else for their lack of success. So I guess that would be my one thing. Stop blaming everything else. Just focus on trying to get better. That's it. Just focus on trying to get better because you will be the most miserable person in the world because I've been at that point. I've been at that point where I've been like, you know what I mean? Like it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? Like
It's
you
so
want to blame other
important.
people.
It's
but
so
don't.
important to understand that and like being
Yeah.
able to well, for me, I would have to say like content is one of those weird things where it's about hoping to be able to grow, hoping to be able to find the right thing, hoping to be able to
Mhm.
blow up by posting the content that you want to do. If I had advice to anybody who is starting content creation, and I say this the exact same thing, you've already heard me say it once today, it's
Mhm.
be enthusiastically, authentically yourself, stay consistent, and enjoy the journey of content creation because you can't just expect an end goal, like an end destination goal. Like,
That expectation will kill you.
that
It will
expectation will
it
kill
will
you.
kill your flame, and it might actually cause you to miss opportunities otherwise. When I went to, like,
Bingo.
DreamHack, for instance, I had other goals as well, like, the first DreamHack I went to in Atlanta, I had all of these goals of, like, what I expected it to happen. I ended up changing some of that stuff around because I found another opportunity inside from talking to, like, an indie games, developers and stuff like that, and I ended up getting another opportunity that I would have never seen coming. If I would have just kept zoned in and just like determined to only do that one thing and not opening my mind to like other opportunities, like even the games that I'm like or the company that I'm sponsored by now, like it's some I never ever even like thought of that happening, you know what I mean? If I would have just kept only being focused on Fable and not being open to having other sponsorships, I wouldn't even have this, you know what I mean? And I think that it's so important to keep an open mind because a lot of celebrities too, like you even hear about like you hear about so many celebrity stories where it's like it was that one thing that made them soar, that one movie that they didn't think would do well but it made them famous, you know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so important to just make sure that you're not closing yourself off.
Just,
um that's a
just,
hard one. That's
just
a yeah.
remember that the reason why you wanted to start streaming in the first place, remember your roots. Because when it comes to the
Totally,
world of
totally.
content, it's you. Why did you even want to post that first video? Did you want it for like the views? Did you want it for like the camaraderie? Did you thought it was a really funny moment? Like for
Mm,
me, my goal is this. I'm a goofy duder. I'm a goofy dude, man. Like everybody thinks that I'm goofy and funny and like whatever. And my goal is to make one singular person smile a day. I don't give a shit who
I
it
love
is.
that. I
Like
love that.
if I make one person smile at any point, then my job's complete as a creator for that day. And I know that I do that based off of the feedback that I get from my videos and the feedback that I get from my people in the content world. And like Sasuke is annoyed with me to the point where I keep saying this story over and over and over. But back in like 24, like I went to DreamHack expecting to like quit content creation and I was like ready to be done with it. But Sasuke told me something amazing. She turned around and said, like, did I watch your videos? And I'm like, wait, you watch my videos? She's like, yeah, I watch your videos. A lot of people I know watch your videos. They love the content that you're putting forward. It's really awesome. It's really dope. And like I'm sitting here like ready to quit content creation and like going to DreamHack in 24 to use like my last hurrah in the world of content. And then someone drops the bomb on me like that, and I'm sitting here like, holy shit, yo! You never know who's watching your content. You never
So
know
true.
who's
That's
paying
so, so
attention to what you're
true.
doing. And
That's so true.
like just have fun, just be yourself. They may not have time to comment and like on all your videos. They may not have time to repost. They may not have time to do that. Like you can't quit content when you start content because you're creating a community of people that really genuinely want to see you succeed. Like Nick's been around my community from the beginning. Audrey's been around my community from the beginning. K-Man's been around my community from the beginning. Like people have been here, people have been around, people have been paying attention. They've just been there. They want to see me succeed. And like
Mhm.
you have to understand that like you're not just doing this for yourself once you start post that first content. You're doing it for everybody. And once you see that, you're going to keep posting, you're going to keep making things, you're going to keep putting things together. So it's the world of content is a gorgeous place from what you put your mind to it.
Mhm. Absolutely. It's true.
So I know I went on a whole tirade of like really cool things, but for any aspiring content creators out there, Professor Stock, what's your message to them? And this will be our last question of the podcast today.
You know what? I think again, what we were going back to before, and what I finally came to realize because I was trying to find the best piece of advice I could like possibly offer like myself at the beginning, but it really is like go in with hopes but not expectations. Go in knowing what your goals are and all that kind of stuff. Don't uh, don't let your self-esteem rely on how many views there are, how many likes you're getting on that post. Again, because I still do that and I still struggle with that, but I'm telling you, like try to find your audience, try to find your community. Don't go in with entitlement. Just and again, I know you keep saying one piece of advice. I'm sorry. There's so many things though. Like there's just so many things to say, but like sorry. I don't have one piece. I'm sorry. I don't have one piece, but I have like a million. But
You're
yeah,
okay.
at the end of the day though, yeah, go in, don't blame others, just go. Go for it, do the things. You know what I mean? Stay passionate because that's really hard to do. It's really hard to stick with it sometimes when it gets hard, but remember why you started. Like Percussive was saying, honestly.
It's huge. It's so important. And
Mhm.
like I genuinely enjoy the world of content because like it's some the creation of a community based off just being yourself is one of the coolest things that you could possibly see. There's so many different avenues that you can go as a creator. There's so many different things that you can do. You can do IRL content streaming. You can do sports stuff. You can do gaming stuff. You can do like physical content journey. Like you can literally
Mhm.
just do computer technology. Like there's so many different avenues, so many different things that you can do. It's up to you to
So
remind
true.
yourself that is what this is what you want to do. There is only
Mhm.
one journey in this world of content. So do with that journey, whatever it is you want to do with it. And as long as you have that right mentality, you're going to be successful.
Totally.
And
Totally.
success doesn't mean money. Success could mean any different thing. There are different definitions of what
True.
success
Very
is.
true. Yeah, it's all about what you're looking for, really. At the end of the day. Yeah.
It's huge. Well, Professor Stock, thank you so much for stopping on, and I appreciate you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are not following Professor Stuck, you can click on her name in the title of this video. I'll have all of her socials posted below. Please make sure you are giving her a follow.
you.
If not, then my face will haunt your soul, because it's just what I do.
It's true.
But
It's true.
I appreciate every single person. And I will see you all next time.